Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to take you through the reflection guidelines that we have at Deep Thought. So this process of reflection can help you improve the quality of the project that you developed in your round two. Before we go into the reflection guideline, before we go into how to write a good reflection, let's understand why to write a good reflection. And before we talk about why write a good reflection, it's important to understand why did you build that project in round two of the selection process. So you may have applied to a particular role, be it a product manager or a software developer or a data scientist or a content writer, could have been any role. Now, Deep Thought gives you that assignment because we look for problem solvers. We look for people who can do 0 to 1 innovation, that is, make the first of its kind innovation in the world. So we're not looking for a normal software developer. We're looking for a great software developer, not a normal data scientist, but a great data scientist, right? So now when we say you want to be a great X, where X is whatever role you're looking for, if you want to be great, what makes you great? Professor Jim Collins, a former professor at Stanford University, says greatness is a matter of choice, not circumstance. You don't become great because you're born in a certain family or you've gone to a certain college and so on. But greatness is a choice. So, okay, too much of motivation. Let's get to, uh, work. So, people who tend to do great work do it not because they have some talent or they have a gifted genius and so on, but they do it because of continuous improvement. So in product engineering environments, we look for individuals who can take feedback and individuals who can continuously improve through that feedback. So now this reflection is a process that you're being introduced to, and this process helps you get onto this path of continuous improvement. And also, if you have some difficulties in talking to people, sometimes if you have challenges or if your ego gets provoked or you get anxious, you have some emotional oriented challenges, again, reflection is a great practice which can help you calm down and have a very constructive approach at work, right? So if you actually go through the reflection guidelines, there are some benefits of reflection which are written there. So please go through them. Now I will take you through the process through which you can make your software development project better, through which you can make your uh, content writing or whichever role you applied to, whatever assignment was given to you, how you could make it better. So it's a 6-step process, reflection process. Step 1 is to celebrate what you've done, because self-esteem matters. If you're happy with what you do, you get the energy to go further. One nonsense that is spread in schools, nonsense that is spread in the society in general is don't be too happy. If you're too happy, you'll become overconfident. Anyway, our society is so judgmental that it doesn't let us become confident. No worry about that. But it's important to be able to celebrate what you have done. So in the celebration message, you could talk about what you achieved. What are the aspects that you're really proud of, right? So I think that's an important step because you'll have a lot of other steps ahead. So you could start by patting yourself on the back for what you've done. That's step 1. Step 2 is process detail. In process detail, you can go over all the little steps that you've done to be able to complete that project, right? So over here, detail is very important because look, in a product engineering environment, we want individuals who can do the work and also cognize the work that they've done. See, the difference between an engineer and a mechanic is that, right? The mechanic can repair a bike, but the mechanic can't explain why it worked. While an engineer can explain why it worked. A mechanic may have a lot of experience, mechanic may have that skill, but engineer has something beyond a skill. Skill to mechanics, plumbers, carpenters, all of them also have, and they're doing a great job in our society, in our economy. But we need engineers, and engineers also need conceptual clarity or theoretical understanding. Theoretical understanding is what distinguishes an engineer from a mechanic, right? So the process detail is an important step because you can spend, but then you might have a question, okay, how do I get into the detail? My point is simple. Start off by maybe writing 3 steps that you followed. We can start with 3 steps. And then as you keep writing, you'll get, once you write the 3 steps, then you'll get an understanding, okay, maybe I missed something, maybe I missed something. So once you put something on the computer screen, you'll get more ideas to add more stuff. So that's when your process detail can get more elaborate, right? So the second step is process detail. What is the series of steps that you followed to be able to complete your project? Third step is bottleneck analysis. So while writing your process detail itself, you'll understand the areas where you got stuck while doing a project. A really good engineer is somebody who's able to realize what the bottlenecks are. Because a lot of people will do the work, but they won't realize the bottlenecks and they won't think about the bottleneck. So if you don't realize the bottleneck and don't think about the bottleneck, you'll gain experience, but you won't learn anything from the experience. So as Sir John Dewey said, you do not learn from experience, you learn by reflecting on experience. You do not learn by experience, you learn by reflecting on experience. So it's important for you to think about where was I stuck and why was I stuck. So that's what you'll be writing in the bottleneck analysis, which is part 3. Part 4 is course correction. So when you got stuck, how did you actually fix it, right? What are the ideas you came up with, to fix the problems that you ran into? That's what course correction is about. Step 5 is extrapolation. Can you think of other situations where the same idea can be applied? This needs certain thinking. If you immediately try to write something, you'll write something motivational. You may not have something which is depth and nuance, right? We don't want surface level ideas, but we want in-depth ideas. So spend some time to understand where else you can implement the same idea. And the last step is thought leadership vision. This is what I think sets a good candidate apart from an average candidate. Thought leadership vision sets a good candidate apart from an average candidate. So thought leadership vision is what are the other, so in extrapolation, you looked at other situations where the same approach can be used. Now, thought leadership vision is what is the kind of impact you'd like to create by taking the same ideas to other situations, right? While the extrapolation is more of the solution implementation point of view, but the thought leadership vision is more around what impact you can create. It's not just about coming up with a technological solution to a problem, but understanding what is the real world impact that you could create by taking this learning somewhere. Because when you're able to see the real world impact, you get that drive to do more and more of it. So we see that engineers who can see the real world picture of what they're doing, connect with their code better. It's not just engineers, any professional who connects with their work, who connects with the impact of their work, I think understand their work better, and they get into that faster feedback loop and faster learning loop through which they can grow faster. So please go through the entire document clearly. In this video, I've only given a high level summary of what it's about. So you can also go through why reflection is important, because at Deep Thought, for us, it's okay if you don't have the skill. For us, it's okay if you're a beginner, but it is not okay if you're not able to, improve, right? Because I mean, at Deep Thought, we hire a lot of beginners and a lot of freshers. And the reason why we believe in beginners and freshers for a lot of roles is because we believe that when we hire a beginner, we have a greater chance of finding someone who's got that learning drive. So, and if you've got a learning drive, then in a simple way, it's like you're like Buddha. You like talking to yourself. You like meditating. You like understanding yourself. You like closing your eyes, thinking about yourself and understanding yourself. So being able to take a pause, understand where you could do better, understand where you got stuck, understanding how you could solve it. This process of reflection, I think, is very important for you to do great work. So this is why we have this reflection process, irrespective of which role one applies to. We encourage them to reflect and make their, project better. So we hope you enjoy the DT process of reflection, and I look forward to your detailed reflection very soon. And because this is quite different from what you would have been used to, I recommend that you go through the document 2 or 3 times to understand what it is and then write the reflection, right? So hope you have fun. Wishing you guys all the best.